Hi everyone, so a bit of a different looking and sounding video today, as you can tell. This is my everyday, day-to-day dash cam. And the reason I'm doing this video is I'm just on my way to pick up my people for a driving test, and it's quite early in the morning. It's currently 7:05. Now I don't normally start anywhere near this early, but thought it'd be quite handy if near the time of my standards check I did a test at the same kind of time, because this people's test is at 8:20 and my standards check is going to be 8:45. So I thought it'd be quite nice to come out and just get a feel for what it's like to be out this early. So like I say, I don't normally start this early at all. So yeah, it's a good tip that if your standards check is at a time of day you don't normally work, it doesn't make a huge difference, I know, but especially if it's early morning and you don't normally do early mornings, you might want to do 1 or 2 lessons at that time just to get a feel. There might be something different, you never know, especially if it's the winter time. You might come out and there might be ice on the windscreen, things like that. I know it's a little thing, but if you haven't allocated time to clear that, or you don't want to turn up at the test centre with the people with ice still on your windscreen, do you? No chance of that today because we're still in the middle of a heat wave at the moment. But yeah, this is what it's going to look like, the diary entry that I'll do on the day of my standards check. I'm going to film myself driving to pick the people up, and I'm going to film me driving there with the people. You'll probably get to see it all, maybe not, if there's not much said on the way, because I might just be driving there not talking a lot. I won't include it all, but I'm going to be trying to sort of talk to people through what the test is all about. And yeah, just kind of trying to get myself warmed up. I think that's the hard thing about doing the standards check early in the morning, is that I'm not exactly, I wouldn't say I'm not a morning person. I can get up easy, don't have any trouble getting up and that kind of thing, but it's just different for me to be out this time of day. So yeah, I'm going to go and do this test now, and my standards check is now less than 2 weeks away. I still can't wait for it to be done. I still wish I could just go and do it right now, because yeah, I just want to get it out of the way. I've done about 13 months of training, so I'm more than prepared. It's quite strange because I do feel this time like I'm just ready for it. Like the other times I've done check tests in the past, I don't know, I never felt like I was really ready for them, even though I had trained for a couple of months before. I also felt like I was having to change things, like the way I normally teach, change that and go and do it differently on the day of my check test. I don't know whether it's because it's a standards check or whether I've been training for over 13 months, or whether this is the first time I've done a test like this, a check test or standards check, with me being a trainer myself, because I'm actually training other people now. In fact, later on today I'm meeting up with an instructor after this test. They're travelling here from Yeovil, I think, which is quite a long way away. And yeah, they're going to be coming to do a talk with me about coaching. So they're going to be having a talk about coaching and what that is. And I should be trying to explain that. I'll say try, because it's quite hard to explain what it actually is and what it's not. But yeah, that's all for now. So thanks for watching, and the next entry in my diary will probably be the night before or the day before my standards check actually takes place. I might do it the day before, I don't know, I might just do it on the morning, but not much more to say now. I'm prepared. Still don't know what topic I'm doing, because you can't choose that till the day, or the day before, to roughly what the people's going to need to do. One of my big tips is always, don't choose your topic too soon, because if you choose it too soon, well, you can't, can you, because you don't know what you're going to need to do. Hi everyone, so we just did that driving test there with the people, and I thought it was worth telling you about this, because something happened that's got relevance to the standards check. So I went on the test with them, and what happened is they stalled the car 4 times in really busy roads, really busy junctions, and when they got back, they said to the examiner, I know the result, you don't have to tell me, I know I failed. And the examiner kind of laughed and said, you might be surprised to learn you've passed. And they couldn't believe it. They said, what? And I remember what the people said. She said, I stalled like a gazillion times. And the examiner said, oh no, you passed. Now this is worth going over, because people argue about this all the time, but there's the official way that the tests are marked, and then there's the unofficial, what I call the human way of marking them. Now the human way means that people who mark exams are human beings. And naturally people don't want you to fail, they don't want you to mess up and fail a test, because that's a negative thing, and generally people want positive outcomes to situations, and this is all going into psychology and that kind of thing. Most people prefer positive outcomes to negative outcomes. So yeah, you could argue that people could have failed. She stalled on, I think she stalled on a big roundabout on a busy right turn on a crossroads, and she was convinced that she'd failed. But the examiner passed her because she could tell that the people was trying really hard, and she didn't normally do that. And it's the same as on a standards check. When I did my part 2 test many years ago, this is something I'll be doing a separate video all about. Something really bad happened on my part 2 and I knew I'd failed, and when I got to the end I passed. I still can't believe I passed that with what happened on my test. And it's the same as a standards check. Now I know that some trainers won't agree with this and some people argue about this, but it is correct that if they can see that you're really trying and you just mess up, then you will often pass. Because remember, they do know that your job's on the line, and they do understand that you're bound to be more nervous than you normally would be. And yeah, they will pass you if sometimes things go a bit wrong. They might turn a blind eye to things. On that test, for example, the people ran over a milk bowl and smashed him, which you could say could be a serious problem. Because it was a big bang. He said, like, I thought the tyre had blown up, but it hadn't. But yeah, don't worry about your standards check going a little bit wrong. Now, there is the risk management element, but even with that, things can go wrong. And the way to think about this, and I think a lot of instructors don't really appreciate this, they don't realise this, your standards check is, after all, a job interview. And people sometimes say to me, when I say that, they say, what are you talking about? It's not a job interview. It is. Think about it. When you're a driving instructor, you don't have a formal interview. You don't go to an office wearing a suit and have an interview, do you? But your standards checks are effectively interviews. They want to see how much do you want the job. Now imagine if you turn up and you don't really give a damn. You know, you've turned up in a pair of jeans and a ripped t-shirt, and your hair's a mess and your car's filthy, and you get in the car and you're just like, oh yeah, another driving lesson, and you don't put any effort in whatsoever, and things go a bit wrong. They're not going to be inclined to pass you, are they? Because you're not really giving the impression that you're trying. Now if you turn up wearing, you know, something smart and your car's nice and clean and you're doing your job well and something goes a bit wrong, they'll probably overlook it. And I know people will argue about this, but that is how it works. It's just human nature, isn't it? You know, you want people to do well. You give them the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, that's what happened on that test, and just thought it was worth throwing that out there because, you know, just so you know, you don't have to be perfect to pass tests. I remember when I got my grade 5, my last check test, I thought I probably got, to be fair, I thought I got 5 or 6, and the examiner said, oh, you know, you might be surprised with the result, you got a 5. And the reason was things went wrong on this roundabout, that people stalled a few times. I think we missed a few chances actually. And I was thinking, oh, you know, that's my high grade got because we messed that up. And I said no, because I think what he said, if I remember, he said Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, you can't expect to get everything right first time. So yeah, just thought it was worth going over that with you. So yep, not long to go now. So I'll be doing more videos soon about my standards check. So yeah, thanks for watching.